life science research, including pharmaceutical research and other research activities, can be applied in a variety of ways. And then there's the assay and related products business of Luminex, and the Toronto division is actually one of the key growth drivers of that business unit. In fact, we were once a partner. TM Bioscience was a Canadian company and a partner of Luminex's that was acquired back in 2007 because Luminex at that stage decided that they wanted to have a more direct presence in molecular diagnostics. That's the fastest growing segment of the diagnostics industry, and did so through the acquisition of TM Bioscience, and more recently through the acquisition of another company in this space, Aerogen. And prior to I've been with Luminex now through TM Bioscience for 9 years. Prior to that, I was in the pharmaceutical industry. I came in to Leo Pharma through the regulatory affairs group, actually, and regulatory, moving over now to a position where I head up an R&D unit and an operations unit and interact very closely with our global marketing group and the other commercial operations divisions. Regulatory, it was a similar type of scenario. When I finished my graduate degree, I've got a PhD from the University of Toronto. I thought to myself, what do I like most about this aspect of science? And it wasn't really lab work per se, and it definitely wasn't molecular diagnostics. I ran from it like the plague back then. It didn't seem to have an application back when I finished graduate school. But I liked the process of pulling together my thesis after the 5 years of research that I did, and weaving that story. And it seemed like that there was an opportunity in pharma to do that through regulatory affairs, and then later through coming to TM Bioscience, we needed to build up both the regulatory department and the clinical department eventually for the dossiers that we pulled together for the US FDA, for Health Canada, and other agencies. In terms of my influences, did I always want to work in healthcare? Probably. I think I decided that in my second year of undergraduate studies, which was also at the University of Toronto. And my father influenced me there, but not in the way I think that you talked about your mother's influence. For me, many things were of interest, to me. And my dad, at the time when I started my undergraduate career, was working at IBM. It was 1988, so if you remember what the IT and just technology sector back then was like, very different from what it is today. And my dad said, yeah, you keep figuring out what you want to do what really kind of motivates you and you have a passion for, but do something with computers, because that's the future. I don't like it much, but there's a future in that. So when I went to the catalog of courses that the University of Toronto had to offer, I found a program, and it's a large university, many diverse types of programs, and there was a program called Cognitive Science and Artificial Intelligence, and it was through the Department of Computer Science, but it was a hybrid type of program where there was a combination of computer science courses, philosophy, psychology, and those were quite interesting to me. And the reason I went to that program was that I was always fascinated from a biological perspective on how the mind works and when things go wrong, as in situations like MS. And I thought, okay, I'll get some exposure to that. So on the psychology front, yes, in those first year courses, if you will. Computer sciences, though, was not my thing. Programming is my husband's an engineer, he does software development, and I could never pursue a career in that, although I officially have a minor degree. So the software development group that I manage here in Toronto, I joke with them saying that I could do their job, which I know I certainly couldn't. So what I did in my second year was say, okay, this computer thing's not really for me. I'm going to take an accounting course, see if I want to go and pursue a Bachelor of Commerce, and I'll take a physiology course and see if I want to pursue a scientific career, not knowing really what that would be. And it was really the biology that was something that I was more motivated to understand and continue to pursue that type of academic training. But I liked the business, and I always wanted to somehow combine the science and the business, and I think that's sort of come full circle in my career now, because what I was missing in pharma, and the role that I played there was that closer connection to the bench that I thought that I would, was not something that was for me, but I very much enjoy today heading up the R&D group in Toronto, which has been